Yo, people, what you telling me back again for another Red Talk? Musa, what's good, family?
In the building. What's going on?
I'm blessed. Big up the chat, man. What you man telling me, bruv? International break. Can't lie, I ain't watching no football, blood.
Yeah, I haven't seen nothing, man. I was trying to see what was going on for who played the other day. Was it Cameroon?
Yeah, but I heard Mbumo was cooking still.
Yeah, I had a boom. I wanted to see if him and Baleba were having a little link up. You see it?
Okay. I heard he played well
What's going
still.
on?
I heard he
Yeah,
played well still. Man is saying he got an assist or something like that. And yeah,
yeah.
bro. I've just been seeing what people been saying about the internationals. Man are saying that Germany died as well, blood. So
Who they got? Who had up Germany?
they're Slovakia, bruv. Beat them 2-0.
Yeah,
But they said Wirtz is still dying, bruv. You know the one. No
oh
one's
my
talking
Lord,
about it. That's what happens.
it's rough. It's rough. It's not easy. That transition to the Prem will just have you just lost in your space.
Yep. I hear it. Bro. Yeah, but that's what it is, bro. When your team's winning, bro, man are not really looking at individual performances. That's just football in general, innit? People start looking at performances when your team's not playing well, innit? So a lot of the times these things be going under the radar.
I saw Nunes didn't really get the smoke that he needed. If he was our player, boy, listen.
Facts.
Yes,
It's partly because they play for Man United, but also because United ain't playing well. So when United ain't playing well, the players are under the microscope.
Yeah, we're not winning. Like Nunes, he's got 2 Prem titles.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's mad. That's what I'm trying to say. And he's just has he got a Champions League as well? I'm not. How long has he been there?
He should have one.
Yeah, I think
no,
he's got
maybe he came after
well.
actually, Darwin.
Yeah.
I think Darwin would have come after actually. He would have come after that Champions League season with Klopp.
Yeah, it's mad.
So I think he might have just missed one. But yeah, bro, his career in the Premier League has been an abject failure, and no one's really saying nothing. And he costs lots of money as well, innit? So it'll be interesting to see the Gyökeres situation. I feel like the Gyökeres situation is gonna go similarly, bro. I don't think he's gonna score as many as people think. And I just think it's easy to be a bully in that league.
Yeah, facts. 100%. Gyökeres, I don't even like. Like there's players again, and I want to say this, and I just don't know how Arsenal didn't say it. That João Pedro was who they needed to go and get. I just don't understand how they let João Pedro go to Chelsea like that. I'm like, no.
Or even Visa, bro. But obviously Visa's older. But I think in terms of technique and profile, I think Visa would have been perfect.
Visa's calm. Or even what they wanted to do in January last year, Watkins. Just go and get Watkins. Stop playing games. Go and pay the money for Watkins. You know that, like you said, he's Prem proven. You know that he scores at least 15 to maybe 20 goals a season. He'll get that in for you. He's not got to adapt to anything. Just bring him into an Arsenal side and just get him to get you over the line with those goals.
Yeah, fact.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know, man. The Gyökeres thing, because the thing is, they brought someone in from outside of the Prem, and he needs to do it now. He's not even allowed to have a season to bed in because of where Arsenal are in their progression. And that's the problem. Had they brought him in maybe a couple years before, then the pressure wouldn't have been as high as it is now. Arsenal's expected to win the league, challenge at the highest. But yeah, they need to win. Obviously, Liverpool had a good window, but I think a lot of people forget that they're only spending last year's money. They didn't spend no money last year.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So as much as we want to put pressure on them and be like, yeah, they're spending bare money, but reality is, listen, if you save your pocket money for a rainy day, man can't start looking at you and be like, right, you're spending bare money. I'll save my money. What do you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm not really too caught up with this Liverpool spend. I think that could be the way forward, though. If you're a proper club, I was looking at this the other day, I said, if you can buy well and sustain a good push in the league, can you miss a season, a window, so you can go ham the following one? You know what I mean? Can you buy
if
well?
you've got a good coach that can maintain the levels, do you know what I'm saying? Then you can do that. Or what you need to do is be smart and plan your spending ahead of time, bro. Like that's what Man United are doing with the Baleba situation. They planted the seed now. So now they've said to him, yo, we want you to be a Man United player. So if it's not this window, it's going to be the next one. And that's what you do, bro. You save your money that way, or Because
Yeah,
the thing is, yeah, if you say you're gonna take a window off, you have to make sure that your targets don't go somewhere else, blood. Do you know what I'm saying?
facts.
And that's the thing with this Premier League, bro. Everyone's got money, so you could end up getting your chain snatched by one of the smaller clubs.
Yeah, facts.
And bro, we're
And
talking.
you always,
He ended
yeah,
up at
facts, facts,
Forest.
facts, facts. 100%.
Ended up at Forest. Do you know what I mean? He was linked. He's been linked
Yeah,
to the Arsenal previously when he was in the Prem. Do you know what I'm saying? He got linked with Spurs. He got linked with us, and he ended up at Forest, bro. So
it's
it's
mad.
just it's one of them things where because everyone's got money, you have to have a look. This Semenyo stuff is bollocks, by the way, guys. This is
Mm,
lies. If you ever seen lies in your life, you know what lies looks like. Do you know what I mean? Because this stuff about Semenyo, about man that Bournemouth convinced him, yeah, to stay at Bournemouth, yeah,
mm.
because Man United offered him less money than Cunha and bruv, what are you talking about, bro? You can't convince no one to stay at Bournemouth if Man United want them, bro. Like, don't take the
No,
piss.
no, we most probably just made an inquiry.
That's
That's
it.
it. Nothing else. Just an inquiry.
Nothing.
Not firm. Just like, right, if we were, what type of money are you talking? Because this is what we would be talking. That's it. Just in case something fails. But we
Yeah,
ain't
and
putting
that's
no
if we
offers
don't
on the
get
table.
Mbumo. That's
Yeah,
what this was for.
yeah, yeah. There weren't no offers on the table. And I
No
feel like that's
way.
what Bayern Munich did with Anthony. If my man's move failed from Jackson, if they couldn't get
Yeah.
Jackson, they hit up Anthony, and Anthony got excited. But they weren't coming for you, brother. They just wanted to make sure that if Jackson failed, maybe we might push and see if we can get you in.
100%. That Anthony thing was a backup because even Anthony
Yeah.
said before, like literally 24 hours before the deal got done,
Mm.
Bayern came in. Yeah, Bayern came in to ask about what's the logistics like.
What's the
Potentially,
logistics like?
if we want to do a deal, how does it look? That's what they did,
But
but all good teams do that.
all good teams. And then Anthony's out here saying, yeah, I had big offers from Bayern. Brother, allow it. They just gave you a missed call, bro.
That's all it was, isn't it? Man just wanted to know some information, and we said, "Oh, we'll let you know." You know them.
And that's it. And man's excited. And this is what a lot of the players and the agents are doing now to just hype it. But
Yeah,
obviously people are always gonna check in and see what's going on. So I don't know, man. But yeah, I definitely like the Baleba thing because I think anyone that knows anything will look at the United squad and say, listen, we should be surviving this season without a midfielder
yeah.
because we have the squad. We just don't have the right formation from the manager or system to get the best out of it. But you
Mm.
can't just look at this squad and be like, oh yeah, if we don't get a midfielder, then that's the reason we can't challenge for top four. I don't believe that. And also those links to Lavia, because I was screaming for Lavia all window. When I'm seeing that United are looking at, even whether it's true or not, but to know that they're still looking at January to get someone in about 4 months and then still going for Baleba, that means that they're going to start building that midfield from the January transfer window, which is a good look. You know what I'm
I
saying?
believe so. I believe
Yeah,
that's the next part of the team that's getting built because they've done the
but
attack. Do you know what I'm saying? And they've also done the defense, bro. Do you know what I mean? They've signed bare defenders. They've signed like what 5, 6 defenders since they've come in, and they've signed
yeah,
four new attackers, and they'll probably sign another attacker at some point. But the midfield is the next focus now.
100%. The fact that they wanted Gallagher, I don't know how to feel about that because that seems like it was contract. It was like for real. Like it doesn't seem like it was just some stories. They
That
did
was a
want
Ten
that
Hag
loan.
thing though, because they also said, yeah, I mean not Ten Hag, sorry, an Amorim thing,
I mean,
because you know why? Because they said Man United only wanted a dry loan.
yeah,
They didn't want to buy, they didn't want
yeah,
to buy him in it. And they said that Atleti would only discuss a deal if we are paying money. So the
mm,
manager wanted a certain profile, and they said, yo, we could try to get you Conor Gallagher on loan, blood. You know the
yeah,
ones, but we're not buying him. Which I like
yeah.
because the club didn't want him. They wanted Belaba, and they said, you know what, we can get you a midfielder on loan, but it will only be a dry ass loan, blood. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know, I
So
like that. I like that. I like that. Like
yeah,
I said, I'm excited. When I'm seeing them moving like that, I'm excited. And the fact that I see, I don't know if it's fake news or not, like I said, the fact I see us linked with Lavia from Chelsea for January, it tells me that they're firm on the type of player they want and the type of quality they want in the middle of the park. Like
yeah.
they're not second guessing themselves. They want people that are technically gifted, have the ability to actually play on the ball, but also have the engine and the athleticism to get about. It's not one or the other, it's both. And that's what they want. And the fact that they're firm on that tells me that, yeah, that's proper, because the midfield starts to look totally different if you add someone like that in January, and then you go in and get Bellerin, and then hopefully also I'm hoping Sekou Kone has a breakthrough season and pushes his way into the team, especially with a couple injuries that's happened. And then you just start building and you start seeing you got Colby in there. The midfield starts to totally looks different. If you can get two midfielders of that caliber, it totally looks different.
Oh, 100%. But ultimately, the setup of the team needs to improve, blood. You know the one. Like this is what it is. It needs to improve, because even with the midfielders we've got, we can't seem to have any control, any foothold in any game of football, blood. No matter who we're playing. You know what I'm saying? We've seen us play against Arsenal and Grimsby. So we've seen one of the top teams in the league, and we've seen a team that Grimsby have lost their last 2 games, apparently. You know them?
Yeah, it's madness.
So that's what I'm saying. So we've seen, like 4th tier, and we've seen top tier. And in both of those games, we never looked dangerous. You never looked dangerous.
It's mad. Yeah, there's an issue at hand, man. I feel like it's just, I don't know, man. I'm looking at the derby when we get back, and then straight into Chelsea. And I think there's 2 more games after that, and then we're going to another international break.
Yeah, so I'm idiot.
So I don't see how my man's, and this is what I'm saying, and this is the only red flag I got with Ineos. I just feel like they don't know how to sack managers. I don't like the fact they kept Eric Ten Hag. I don't like the fact that they've allowed Amorim to come back and have a pre-season. Because I'm just looking at it and I'm like, if Amorim doesn't pick up points at City, because remember, City are a wounded animal right now. Pep is fuming. That man are wounded. So he's going to say, like, this is the perfect game to go and get some points. United. And then Chelsea are doing what Chelsea does. You don't know what team's going to turn up. I just feel like if we come out from an international break and go into 2 games and pick up no points, it's madness. It's
what are you making of Chelsea anyway this season?
Chelsea is like, sadly, I feel like with a couple injuries that they've had, and they don't, like, I thought Chelsea were going to buy a certain type of player and then they were going to slow down, but they don't seem to be slowing down. And I feel like that's going to be detrimental to their progress. Like, cool, I get the spending at the beginning, but they're still doing the business side of things. And like the manager's just like, he's not even a manager, he's a coach. The head coach is just dealing with what comes through the door. But you get to a certain point where you can't keep everyone happy. So now you're looking at Chelsea, and I guess even Chelsea fans would accept that Jackson leaving might not have been the right thing, especially with the injuries that's come in. They might look at a Jackson now who definitely contributed in the big games, always a handful to deal with, and then you've let him go, and then what have you replaced it with? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Especially with the man them who are now injured, the lap's gone out. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I feel like Chelsea, you just don't know what you're going to get from them, man. And I feel like they're good enough to go on a run, unbeaten in 5 and do things like that. But then they're also bad enough to not be able to pick up any points in about 4 or 5 games where they're struggling, they're getting draws and losses. So with Chelsea, I just think they're going to be top 4 finish again. And I think, and it might not be an easy top 4 finish, but then again, when I look at City, I don't know if it's just too early to call it. We've only had 3 games. No one's really got into rhythm. But I feel like Chelsea will have a easy top 4 finish if City don't get their stuff together.
Yeah, City look poor, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying?
City just look poor, man, because I would have said Chelsea would have been just fighting to get into top 4. But then when City are this poor, I end up thinking that I think Chelsea have enough about them, and they're not shy to go in transfer windows like January and fix up. I'm looking at the teams that's trying to break that top 4. It's us, Aston Villa, Newcastle, and we're not really spenders in January like that. We don't really make things happen.
More recently, though, like the last few years, do you know what I'm saying? Especially under the new regime, January, we tried to do business. Do you know what I'm saying?
We try to do smart business. If it makes sense, we'll make it happen.
Yeah. So I think potentially, that them man were planting the seed for the following windows, and all the links have been good. Like we were linked with what do you call it? We were linked with Angelo Steeler, even though we didn't get him, being linked with him, Belabor, and Wharton. Those are the kind of links I need to see for midfield, innit?
Yeah, yeah.
We're getting linked to
100%.
the right names. That's the one thing I say about this new regime, yeah. A lot of these brothers, yeah, a lot of these brothers we're being linked with are the right kind of links, innit? You can see the Conor Gallagher thing was an opportunist thing at the end of the window just to keep
Yeah,
the manager happy because he said he wanted a midfield, but I'm
yeah.
a midfielder. But all the noise coming out of the club is that Wilcox, Jim, and these man didn't think midfield was a priority.
No, facts. Facts. Yeah, they didn't. And this is what they said. And I feel like, and I think Wilcox and Jim might have just called Amorim's bluff with, they're still getting the opportunity as United to build for the club so they can change the whole attacking front line. You know, they've done stuff by bringing in like Mazraoui and Euro and Delit last year. So they've changed up the back line. You know what I'm saying? They brought in a new goalkeeper. So I think they've still managed to progress the club with signings while at the same time calling the manager's bluff who doesn't want to play through the middle, saying, well, if you don't want to play through the middle, then we shouldn't have to be spending money in the middle. You've got Bruno, you didn't want to sell for 100 million. You know what I'm saying? You've got other players that can play that position. This is how you're setting up. Then, based on what you're telling us, the middle is the last priority. It's not the main priority for you.
Yeah.
So in that case, I feel like then United are doing the right thing in terms of buying everything around that and coming to the middle last. But I feel like the manager's just, calling his bluff and he's going to get found out because
And also,
Bruno's not going to help him.
we could have got our midfielder if the manager wasn't caping so hard for Bruno, blood. Because bro, we got offered 100 and something million. You could have got your midfield replacement because the way they're seeing it, and rightly so, Bruno and Casemiro between them are on nearly 700 grand a week, blood.
Madness.
So they're like, hold on. What do you mean you need a midfield, bro? Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And them two man, are chewing up, like most of man's wage bill, blood. Them two.
Facts.
That's how they're looking at it.
Them.
Big though.
I
and
don't
Mason
blame
Mount's on 250 as well. So,
you
bro,
can't blame them.
there's about £1 million a week with Mason Mount, Bruno, and Casemiro, blood. So what do you mean that you need a midfielder, bro? You better sell one of these, man.
Yeah, 100%. You can't blame that. And I think I think when you look at it like that, you can't blame any of us at all. Not when you've got a midfielder that's at 30 years old, wanted for 100 million. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, he's on about 350 a week, same as Casemiro. Then you got, like you said, you got Mount in there on 250.
That's nearly a mil, blood. That's nearly a mil, a week on midfield.
On midfield, and then you want us to go again. I don't even know what they slapped Ugarte with. What's Ugarte on? Because he should be
on
down
nothing
as well.
crazy. He'll be on like a calm 100, like low hundreds, I reckon. But still,
probably a 150.
Yeah, around that, maybe just underneath that. But still, it's a piss take, that you got Mount, Bruno, and Cass on nearly £1 million a week, So
Madness.
You can't tell me you need midfielders. That's incredible. No. You can't do that, and then you're not playing Kobe as well. So what do you mean?
Yeah, it don't make sense. Yeah, you don't make sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense because if you definitely throw Ugarte and that's £1 million between those four every week, and you've got 4 men there, and all 4 of them could have went, and nobody would have batted an eyelid. I don't think nobody would have fought to keep any of them 4. And the fact that you've got them sitting there, and these are players that you're going to use, it's mad. I think, to be honest, I keep on looking at this league and I think to myself, there's an opportunity here. And it always happens to Man United where I feel like City are not ready.
Yeah.
And Chelsea are just flirting, but no one knows what they're really on. Every other team's going to have their difficulties. And we're still not set and ready to play.
There's an opportunity to capitalize on what other people aren't doing, but we ain't got our house in order, bro. We're just a manager away as well.
Facts. Because the squad is looking much better. Bro. Much better. I'm not in any position if we get 1 or 2 players that we've been linked with. But when I look at the players that we linked with in terms of now, if I look at Beleba, Stiller, like you said, Adam Wharton, and now Lavia. If I look at those 4 type of players, if they're playing at their optimum and they're playing at their highest level, or even if they're just playing because they're just all good footballers and they're able to do, and they're able to play well, I'm not worried about anyone coming in and telling me that this brother can't play because I know they can play. We've seen it. These are all capable footballers in multiple different type of setups and systems. And this is why I was afraid that had the manager got one or two of these players, they would have paved over the cracks because they're so good at what they do. It wouldn't have been his system that was making us look or play better. It would have been because right now, when we're talking about individual brilliance, we don't have those midfielders that can pull off that individual play. And, you can be like, all right, it's up to him. Casemiro's too old to do that at this age, in his stage. Ugarte doesn't have it in him. Kobe does, but he has to be more effective further up the pitch. He can do it in the middle of the park, but he's more effective sometimes further up the pitch to show you his pure individual brilliance. And then Bruno's the same. He's a madman. He's scatty. He doesn't know what he's doing, but he can win you a game if he's further up the pitch. But the manager doesn't have that now. So he's going to get caught lacking. There's no one in that middle of the park that I can see that can put their foot on the ball and take control of the game 1-up. No one can do that.
100%. And also the system isn't set out for a player like that to even thrive anyway. Because even someone like Casemiro, Casemiro has shown his ability to play football at Manchester United. And people are doing him like they did Pogba. You know them ones? Like two top midfielders put in systems that weren't built for them to thrive in it. Because do you know the amount of moments that Casemiro has given us in the short time he's been at Man United? You know what I'm saying? He's been instrumental in us winning the trophies that we won, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he's popped up and scored important goals. He's done loads of things. He's had some big performances.
Yeah, it's a similar impact to what Cavani gave us, and people look back at Cavani different to Cas. You know what I mean? And to be honest, like you said, the moments that he's given us and what he's done, even like people like Casemiro isn't the old player that he used to be, but in the right setup and system and getting the best out of him, you'll still get a quality player. So this is why if my man at Spurs had Casemiro, it will look madness. He could slap Casemiro and Polina in the same team and have it looking mad at Spurs, my man, because of the way he sets up and how he wants to play the game and how he's going to get everyone close to each other, even at flipping Palace. Because everyone's close. It's tight knit.
It's so compact. You know like Cass would absolutely boss in a system like that, bro. This is why I don't like the way people try and write him off like he's cooked. It's like, no, if you put him in the right system, like, brother, we've seen players like Yuri Tielemans, bro, for Aston Villa who can't run at all, and you're trying to tell me that Cass can't still play. Like, no, Cass can play, but you have to play him, in the right system. That's 100%. It, bro. Casemiro's still a top footballer, bro. And this is what it is, bro. It's like, it's a combination of people that don't know football and a lot of the younger football fans that think as soon as you turn 30, everything stops working, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's foolishness. It doesn't really make sense, bro. All of a sudden, he's old, he's this, he's that. Bro, his age has nothing to do with his profile. Cass has been the same footballer for a long time.
For a long time. The game's changed. It's changed from flipping Ryan Giggs was doing Pilates and playing in the middle of the park.
Yeah, 40.
And Giggs, at 40. And Giggs has been retired for how long? And he was playing at that level at that. So the game's changed. And what was good is that we hid his deficiencies at that age by playing him in a certain type of system in a certain type of way. When players get to that age, the team has to be good enough to help them and hide their deficiencies. But we're in a team where even a 21-year-old left in the middle of the park will just collapse. There's too much spaces for him to deal with. At this high level of sports, like for a young player to have to cover that much space that Amorim vacates in the middle of the park, it's not going to happen.
And Ten Hag done the same thing, by the way.
Yeah.
The same
it's
thing.
Not going to happen. 100%.
Because I told you already, remember the Liverpool game when they were blaming Casemiro for the goals and then he put Kobe there and then Kobe done the same thing, lost the ball and we conceded again, bro. It's not the players that are there, it's the system. If you're isolated as a midfield player and you don't have runners and you don't have passing options, either you hoof it or you lose the ball. One or the other, innit? Like, and it's one of them ones where it's so easy to scapegoat Casemiro, but since he's coming, he's been our best midfielder. That's the maddest thing.
Yeah. He has been. He's been one of our most consistent midfielders and one of our best midfielders. Cass, his first season was outstanding. He showed people what a top midfielder is and what a top midfielder looks like. Everybody was excited for him. Second season, I think he had a couple injuries. Then he fell out of favour with the manager. Then Then
And then he got back
bought him.
in favour because he was playing so well.
Yeah, that's it. He was playing so well. Then you had Rude, who was like, "Yep, I'm gonna instate him, and you're my guy." And then you had Amorim come in and want to pick a fight with a top talent, and Amorim had him bent for some reason, moving mad for no reason. Then Amorim realized that, right, this is the only real G that I've got in the building that can get me out of this madness, and brought him back in.
That's
so it's been mad for Cas, and Casemiro's a man where whether he's playing or not, his tracksuit looks ironed. That man, they're ironing tracksuits, bro. You know what I'm saying? His tracksuit
he's a
looks
model
fresh.
pro, bro. Never complains.
Bro.
Yeah,
Never.
I'm saying, man, been disrespected bare.
Yeah, he just seems like he's always ready to go. Wash bag ready, iron tracksuit, fresh, ready to turn up. Whether he's playing or not, he looks like he's good to go. Whether he's and that's how Varane was. And I feel like even if Varane was just injuries, but even letting Varane go was a madness for me.
Yeah, bro. Varane was different, though. Do you know what I mean? You saw Lissandro, as soon as Varane left, he unraveled, bro. Do you know what I mean? And he was getting all the credit.
And he was getting all the credit. This is what I'm trying to say to us. So even for this young defense of Heaven and Euro to have Varane in the building, just there or thereabouts, it's different. And I feel like these are the type of things that we're not getting right. This is the type of balance that we're not getting right. And I think we're only going to get this from a United. I feel like, I don't know, like, let's look at the big clubs. If we look at the Real Madrids, Barcelona's, AC Milan, Juventus, City, whoever, is Man United a club that can we, because we go for the stellar players, we go for the stellar managers. Can we go for a manager who's not stellar? Can we do that? I just don't know if, like, because within the top bracket of stellar names,
United can, but it would have to be someone like an IRAOLA who is known in the Premier and he plays a certain brand of football. I think if United don't go for a name, then it's gonna be someone with immense talent like an IRAOLA that has done something. Do you know what I mean? I think
but this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if Man United
got them in still.
Yeah, but that's what I was thinking, because in my head I'm thinking if we go for a stellar name, then we can look outside of the Prem. So if we go for a big name manager who's been there, done it at the highest level, he doesn't have to be from the Prem. If you want to take a chance on a manager, like then at least...
You mean? Like a Nagelsmann or something?
Yeah, like a Nagelsmann, someone who's done it at a high level, then you can go for that. But if you want to go for a manager who is not, he's not a stellar name, and he hasn't done it at the highest level like that, then he has to have some Prem experience. Like you said, it has to be a Riola, it has to be my man GLASNER at Palace. If you want to go for someone who hasn't been there, who hasn't been at the biggest clubs in the world, doesn't know the demands that they have, that it's more than just coaching, you got to manage a fan base, you got to manage a media, there's so much pressure that comes on at Man United. You got to wear multiple hats. You can't just wear one hat. You can't come on, like, it's not a Bournemouth and you can be selfish. I'm just going to coach. Don't ask me about nothing. Because the club's
but that's what I mean. Even Amorim moaning about the media obligations, like, that's not your job.
Yes.
You know them way there. It's your fucking job, my brother. Like, it's part of the obligation. You're at the biggest club in the world. Like, you're going to have to do that.
I'm telling you, like, 2 seasons ago, a year ago, no one knew who Amorim was other than people who were really into football. There are Man United fans who didn't know who Amorim is. Amorim right now is more famous than 90% of world leaders. Man, you know what I'm saying? More famous than world. Like, we can reel off bare countries and I don't know who their presidents are. And most people wouldn't know. But you talk about Man United manager and I'll be like, yeah, Amorim. He's famous. So you can't come and start talking about you're not going to do media work and it's too much pressure. You're one of the most famous people in the world. This is a serious position when you take on these type of positions, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Man United, these type of clubs that have massive fan base. You become instantly one of the most famous people in the world.
But also, that's the problem with it, though, because you know what it is, that's what's keeping Amorim in a job. Because he articulates himself a certain way and he comes across a certain way in the media, that's the reason why the fans are still fucking with him. You know what I mean? That's what's pissing me off, because it's like they brought him in because he's a smart ass, He's not that smart when it comes to football, but he's just a smart ass in life. You could tell he's just a gin blood. Like, the way he sits there and he's gaslighting, man. Do you know what I'm saying? But you look at it, and it's just like, you can tell that
Yeah, because
of how he
even
comes across, the fans ain't completely. Because, bro, we should be throwing him out the building, you know.
100%, even when he was pretending to walk, he got the fan base like, raw, man, at least he's honest. He's ready to walk. He knows he's not good enough. Brother, he
Brother,
weren't
you know what I'm
nowhere.
saying? Nah, it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like for a moment, we actually forgot that he was getting paid money. You know that,
I'm
man.
telling you. I'm telling you.
He
I
was never
forgot.
leaving. He was never leaving, brother. You know them, man. You
Never.
know, but who's walking away from all that money? It sounded nice, though.
It sounded nice, though. This is what I'm trying to say. Man, believe that. It sounded
Brother.
nice. When it came to it, he weren't going nowhere.
Yep. This is what I'm saying. This is what I mean. Liar, bro. Man's on 10 mil a year. Man was just gonna walk away from that. Was he fuck? You know them ones. Even if he thought about it, his agent would have said, nah, hold on.
No. It just sounded nice. I realized next game, man, start talking about sometimes I love them, sometimes I hate them. That's just me. Yeah, eat it, Amorim. Stop playing them. Yeah, you can't be in no professional relationship with someone that's just ready to walk at any minute. Man's starting
crazy,
companies, man's on it, man's not on it. Come on, brother, make your mind up. Are we doing this or we not doing it? Someone like Amorim, you got to be careful. You can't. This is why I'll be surprised if we don't pick up any points. I think if we don't pick up at minimum 6 points from those 4 games after the international break, I just don't know how there's not a conversation to replace him in that next break.
6 from 4, but yeah, but we will though. Like I feel like we will. Like obviously the City and the Chelsea games are difficult games here on paper because the manager's shit. But the other games, like what other games do we have? They're winnable, right?
I think they're winnable, but everything seems winnable until you look at Grimsby, bro, and then you start realizing that.
Until you look at Amorim, I hear.
Yeah, and that's what it is. When you look at Amorim and you look, and you know that the problem is that a United that beats City and then goes on to draw at Chelsea, for an example, or the other way around and picks up 4 from 6, has a different mind frame than a United that just loses both of those games back to back. If they lose those games back to back and then the pressure is on, you know the cooking is coming from every platform.
Hold on, we got Liverpool as well.
Yeah, we got Liverpool in that.
Bro, he ain't getting that, man. What's man talking about? But Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man City, bro, he's gone. Maybe, hey, bro. I even know why I expected them to sack him in this break here when he's getting sacked in the next.
That's what I said, but that means he'll be getting sacked in the same window. I think Ten Hag got sacked in.
Yeah, the October one. Hey, bro, I'm going to be in Jamaica. I'm making sure, I got my camera, blood. I swear down because we're uploading, fam. You know, them way he's gone then. There's no way.
Madness. And this is what I'm thinking. Yeah, so that's 9 points that we could easily drop. Like, and then be talking about, it's madness. I don't know how we survive them games, you know. I don't know, man.
It's mental, bro. But you know what? It became very clear quite quickly with this manager that he was going to be the guy before the guy, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because
sadly.
He's still been the guy to do the clear out, bro. When you look at the players that have left, bro, like the way he's dealt with it was the right way. The Garnachos and that. And the way man said to me, you better pray somebody comes and signs you, because he let man know that, you're not playing, you're not playing. Like, he's a cold brother still. Do you know what I'm saying? He's actually a cold brother when it comes to that. So the fact that he got rid of him, Rasmus was gone. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Anthony's gone, Rashford's gone. Like, bro, like he was the right personality to deal with them. Even when he dropped Rashford and Garnacho for the Manchester derby and we won. Stuff like that. We did need that at the time, but he's just 100%. Not good.
He's not good. Like, all Amorim owes the fan base for the poor season that he had last year. All we want from him, get us top 4 and leave us like that. I don't know FA Cup. You've kicked us out of the Carabao Cup. Everything cool. Just get us a top 4 finish and leave at the end of the season, because we can't renew your contract. You got 1 year left anyway, or half a year. We ain't got time for all of that. End of the year, he got a 2.5-year contract. At the end of this year, he would have done a 1.5 years. They got to renew it. Just let him go. But can Amorim win, like, not just for United's sake, but for his own professional sake, in terms of being able to go on and get another job? Can you get us into the top 4 and leave us there? Because if he leaves us at the end of the season and we finish in the top 4, and
if he gets us top 4, then pussy will keep him. That's what I'm saying. Because they'll say that he's done a good job. Of course. Like, bro, at Man United, you need to fall flat on your face.
We need to
Or
be
they'll
like
give you
the
a
way
chance.
we need to be like the way he flipped. This is the only thing that I'm not happy about Idiots, man. They're not sacking managers when they should do. We need to be like Chelsea. Poch had a good finish, ended up finishing high in the league, won a couple games back to back, and then they sacked him and they brought in someone new. All I want from Amorim is like a top 4, top 5 finish. Let us be in that conversation for Champions League football. Let us go in the window and then get Beleva, get another midfielder in, like a Stiller and a Beleva or something with Champions League football. Get us a different type of manager and give us that opportunity. That's all I want, man.
I hear it.
Madness, though, man.
A man saying Amorim's a Spurs legend, you know, gave Levy a trophy and made him step down while he's on top. It's crazy. Brother, the fact that we lost to Spurs, you know, he should have been gone that same day, you know.
Gone.
The same day, my brother.
Anytime I think about that Spurs loss, it's like it's not real, it didn't happen. See, when I'm reminded that we lost that, it's madness. Madness. So the reality is that as good as, and this is one of the things I say, as good as they say he was at Sporting Lisbon, why didn't he win the Europa League? Why wasn't Sporting
ever in the
conversation?
saying. He's only won the league, bro, there. And also, people need to understand, yeah, a lot of people talking about Ruben Amorim, yeah, didn't do their research in terms of like the history of Sporting, bro. Sporting have always been a big club, bro. You know what I mean? Like always. And they average about 3rd place in the league anyway. Like that's their average finish. So they're talking like he did what Eddie Howe did with Newcastle and he took man from 17th in the league up into Champions League and them things there. Bro, he won the league with a team that finishes in the top 3 most years anyway, bro. Like he didn't, it wasn't a miracle that they won it, bro.
And the fact, because I remember, I think he went in there when Sporting was having that madness when fans were coming at the training ground and people were getting sacked. I think that's the time they started to rebuild. But the fact that Sporting had the ability to get rid of like 12 players and bring in 12 tells you that they're a big team. You can't just do that. You know what I'm saying? It shows you that they had a different type of pocket and budget compared to other teams as well in that league. The fact that they were able to do that for Amorim, and then it's already in the DNA of that team, like you said, to always be finishing in the top 4. Then obviously winning the league and going on to that next progression wasn't that difficult. And he just brought in a couple championship bullies in Gyökeres and that. They came and bullied up the league and everything looked different. But when you look at it, and this is why I said, getting in an Amorim makes no sense if he hasn't had a couple years experience in the Premier League. This is what I was thinking about Man United not getting in stellar managers. If you're not going to get in a stellar manager, make sure you find that manager in the Prem so that they don't need that time to, like we're doing with the players, to understand the league and to get used to the demands of the league. But if you're going to go outside of the league, then you have to be going for the elite managers that are known to deliver. And if you're not going to do that, then look into the Prem because there's a few of them and they've been there for a while. Because the reality of Amorim versus any the up-and-coming managers in the Prem, there ain't no big difference, bro. They all go to Sporting and deliver. You know what I'm saying? Like, they all go there and deliver.
Exactly, but the same doesn't work the other way around. And this is what people need to understand. Because when you look at Ruben Amorim, I said it, he's a Wolves manager, bro.
Like, he's a Wolves manager.
He's a Wolves manager. You know what I mean? And Nuno was at Wolves. So it's not even a disrespect because Nuno was at Wolves. Then he went to the Middle East. Nuno went Middle East, and then remember he won in the Middle East, Nuno, and then he came back here. So Nuno, so Nuno ain't no scrub manager, but Nuno still ain't no top level manager. We're not looking at Nuno saying, "Yo, like we don't rate Nuno the way we rate Emery. Emery's got European titles."
Facts.
Do you know what I'm saying? Amorim ain't got no European titles. Do you know what I mean? We take the piss and call him Villas-Boas, but Villas-Boas won European titles. He didn't win none.
Right. And that's another one. See, when I realized that Amorim hadn't won a European title, I was shocked. Because I was thinking, so what have we been guessing all this time? Just their league. You know what I'm saying? Is that all we've been guessing? Is just the league wins and a couple cup wins in Portugal. I was thinking he's like Sporting Lisbon team had won the flipping Europa League a couple times or something. And I look back and I said, hold on, Amorim, this brother, like United, the first time he's got to this final was this dead United. We dragged this manager to a European Cup final. Before that, with his wonderful so-called Sporting team, it couldn't get him there. But our dead United team flipping dragged this brother to a final against Spurs, and all he had to do was pick the right players and pick a system that didn't flip and leave holes everywhere. And he messed up. He had Saeed doing cross country across Spain, brother. To
This
get
is
to the
what I'm
final.
saying. This is what I'm saying. It's not making no sense, bro. And even when you look at it, it's like, in hindsight, we should have known it was gonna go this way, bro. Do you know what I mean? We should have known. Because even like my man rightly pointed out about Gyökeres now, yeah. When you look at Gyökeres' goals, the amount of goals that this player was playing on a breakaway where he's running by himself, blood. Do you know what I'm saying? This counter-attacking long ball football. Do you know what I mean? And now it's like he was just bullying these guys in that Portuguese league. You know the amount of goals where man's cutting in for like 10 minutes, bro, like by himself, and no one's tackling him. And now when you watch Man United play, yeah, when we counter-attack, it's in Mbumo by himself. Do you know what I mean? On his own, like one long ball, and Mbumo's running onto it. There's no one to pass to, bro. And it's 1 versus 5. And then people wonder why we're not scoring goals, because we can't get players close enough to other players to score, bro.
Madness. When you check it, when you really pre it, it's mad. It's mad. And I'm just hoping that the other teams just do so bad that it opens a door for us, that if we can just keep some small level of consistency, we're gonna somehow get ourselves there or thereabouts. That's all I can hope for, because even a Europa wouldn't go amiss, because it's bad right now, you know. You know, it is, because the thing is, with a good manager, because you know what, I look back at like the history of Europa League. Some big teams have been there and won it, you know, even big Ronaldo and them, man, there. Like, there's certain teams who had to go there to rebuild themselves, whether it's Barca or not. I wouldn't mind finishing 5th or 6th, getting into, as long as Amorim gets sacked, getting into the Europa League and letting the new manager come in with a young team, less experienced team, you know, playing a good style of football, bad it up in the Europa League, get ourselves into the Champions League and then kick on. I wouldn't mind. You know what I mean? Because what's mad, when I looked at the Champions League draw, it dawned on me that United should have been in there. When I'm seeing Spurs with a dead group that they got.
Yeah, that group that Spurs got pissed me off, bro. Because like when I looked at that group, I'm like, bro, the game's in there. It's like, bro, that could have been us, you know.
Could have been man in there. That's what I was thinking. And Bumo, Cunha in champion.
But bro, that's what I mean. Casemiro back in the Champions League and that, bro. This is what it should have been, bro. I'll be honest, bro. That's why I can't believe these men are letting this manager off.
Bro, you see me, I don't get it. Because if I was Rap Jim, or if I was any of them Glazers and I had a conversation like this with my brethren, right now I'll pick up the phone and say, sack that Brethren now, please. Get him out of the club. Just anytime one of the man them remind me, I'm calling for his head. Like, now, it is gone. We lost, and we should be in the champs, and he's not on any smoke. And he has to come back and play 2 back-to-back games against City. And like, my thing is this. As bad as City's been, I haven't seen anything from United to tell me that I should be confident in beating them. I'll be honest with you, I haven't, because we struggled against Burnley, even though we peppered them and stuff like that. We just weren't convincing in getting the ball over the line. And I just feel like better teams, you know what it is as well? People make, like, you have to think about, is Turkey and them, man, they're injured. Who's injured for City? Who's available, who's not?
Turkey is injured for City.
Reinders is
out as well. I think those are their main players out. They're big players.
Because Reinders and them, man, because certain man, it's their first time to play United. Yeah. They want to make their name. I just know people like making a name for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And that Foden, is he injured or what? He loves playing against us.
I don't know if Foden's injured or if he's just not being used. I'm assuming he's injured, because I ain't seen Phil Foden in a minute.
I ain't seen him for a minute. And then, man, they love to play against us. All of a sudden, he becomes a flipping City hero from nowhere and turns up. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. I would love for us to get some points out of these 2 games. Even 2 draws, I'll take them now. I'll take 2 draws now against City and flipping.
Yeah, so would I.
City, Chelsea, 2 draws, 2 points, move on to the next, try to get a win. Because I just don't want to be holding L's. The L's are not going to help us long term. You know what I'm saying? So, But you know what it is? The problem is when you have 2 games like that back to back, and if you don't pick up points, the league starts to look mad all of a sudden. Because right now we're 2-3 points off the top. If you allow a couple teams to pick up 6 points and you don't pick up none, brother, you start sitting in 15th comfortably, and then it's a struggle.
These really the fixtures, Musa. Brother, what?
Yeah, something's going on.
That's
City,
nasty.
Chelsea, Forest. Yeah, that's scary days.
That's nasty. Man could lose all of them, you know. Like, I'm not saying
that
we
can't
will.
be Newcastle. Now we need to pull them up. That can't be the scanner.
Brother, I'm not saying we will, but bro, man could get no wins, you know. Like none.
That's scary.
Like the form that man are on from last season, if that is actually the run, man could end up with no wins.
This is a scary run. I didn't think it was Forest and Newcastle. Yeah, that's scary for us. And we got 1 game a week.
Yeah.
No,
that could be no wins, bro.
Yeah, that's not. I can see easily no wins because now I'm looking. Forest are just on what they're on. I'm looking. Where could we get a win?
Yeah, bro. No, you said no. Those are not the fixtures. We got Brentford and Sunderland in between. Boy, I was about to say.
That's what I was thinking.
That's what I'm thinking. Nah, that's nasty, bro. Hey. Man, I got Brentford and Sunderland. Man, yeah, we should.
The wins there. That's where the wins are.
But when you say we go lose to Sunderland, cuz you know them. Mad. Man, Granit Xhaka, you know them way there.
It's mad.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mad. Brentford and Sunderland is where we're going to try to get back on the bike if anything goes mad. And that will be. I don't know. That's still not enough points, man. I don't know, man. It's not enough points. And if he loses to any one of those 2 there, he's in the mud.
That's what I'm saying. Those are must wins. You know them. Those are the ones where you'll be looking at to get your 6 points because all the rest of these things are looking crazy.
Lose to Brentford or Sunderland. And Boomo goes back to Brentford. He doesn't know what's going on. They're singing their songs. You know what I'm saying? He's having it difficult. He gets subbed off. All of that type of stuff. You know how it goes, left. I don't know, man.
Good. It's not looking good, guys. I'll be honest. Like that's the only thing I would say is that I find it difficult to see how he makes it out of this next period, innit? But they're saying that like a man said that IRAOLA's contract runs out in 2026, but also he's got a release clause. We got money there from the summer. We moved on bare players. We saved bare money on wages. Just go buy him, innit? Like go pay him.
100%. Just go and pay the money, get him out there and make it happen. I don't think there's an excuse in terms of getting a manager in. I just feel like the club's got to be bold. They just got to look at it and be like, this is madness. And I feel like Wilcox and I got to speak up a bit more because you've got the youth players playing a total different type of football, different type of style. You've got midfielders.
He doesn't believe in the Amorim system, bro.
And this is what I'm saying. So you're not believing in what you're seeing in front of you. You've got a handful of midfielders who can't get a game because he's only playing with 2 in the middle of the park and the team's struggling. You've got one of your bright talents in Colby begging for a loan move because he feels like he's got his prospects are better elsewhere to get into the England team. All of that is a red flag. You know what I'm saying? Because if we could have got Colby out to Palace, that would have been perfect for us. Or Brighton. Getting to Brighton or Palace so that he can partner up with his long-term partner from early. So either you slap him at Brighton, so he's in the middle of the park with Beleba from early, and they get a season together, or you do that with Palace and let him do it with Water. But you just make things happen. You got to be smart. So I don't know, man. It's difficult.
Who would you take out of GLASNER and IRAOLA?
I think for me, when I look at it, I'll go down the Spanish route with IRAOLA. I prefer, I don't know, I like the grit of Palace, but I prefer the flair of Bournemouth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I prefer to watch Bournemouth play. You know what I'm saying? But Palace just look mad defensively,
they got a grit.
Secure. They look serious. That's what I mean. I'm torn because GLASNER, I think GLASNER wins us a trophy quicker than IRAOLA because I just think he sets us up in a way that like we're just a lot harder to win against from the jump, you know the ones. But then IRAOLA probably gets us playing a better brand of football, but maybe it takes a little bit longer for them to be able to adapt to it. You know them one.
Yeah, because I think when I look at Glasner, it's like I don't know if is he close to Howe at Newcastle in
I'd say
terms of
so. I'd
yeah,
say so.
yeah,
Not as like physical in terms of like the players, but the way he sets them up like really well. I think
yeah.
so.
Yeah, because I think they do have a level of flair to them in terms of what you see with Newcastle as well. I wouldn't say they don't have no flair with them. I would say that they
Yeah.
do, and they're difficult to beat. They're robust, they're strong. But I do like to watch Bournemouth play because, okay, I'm just thinking it determines or it depends on what is the long term idea at Man United. Because I think if you bring in the Bournemouth manager, he's a great manager before another manager in terms of having a style of play. Players are playing well. You're in all the competitions. You're going to the late stages. You know, you're very. You know, people love to tune into your games and watch them. Your players are playing at optimal, using their skills and their abilities. Great to watch, and you can maybe then get someone in who can get that over the line. Where I feel like Glasner as well, in terms of if another manager came in, I don't know if that would be a building block. He might totally set them up totally different to what Glasner does, if you know what I mean. He might have
But the one thing about Glasner, he can play a back four and a three. That's that one thing I do like. It's similar to Thomas Frank in the sense that he can play multiple systems, innit? He's not a one and done system manager, innit?
No, he's not. He's not. I just feel like whatever he's asking his players to do, it's very distinct. You know what I mean? I don't think it's really. I don't think he leaves much to the players.
1 second,
if I
bro.
could say it like that. Go on. Yeah, I don't think Glasner leaves much to the players. When I watch Palace play, I feel like there's a lot of direction given to what they're doing and what they're executing. Where I feel like Bournemouth, there's direction and there's an idea of, okay, this is how we want to play the game. But then there's a lot of individualism that is allowed to take part within that team in terms of how they can play the system that's given. I don't think it's as rigid as it is at Palace. So that being said, I feel like if a manager comes in after Riola, it gives him a better chance to also adapt the players into what he wants to do. Similar to what you saw at Liverpool when Klopp left. My man came in, he didn't have to change much. He didn't have to change much. I feel like with Glasner, you might have to change a bit more. Because I just feel like his instructions are so detailed.
But
Glasner,
I think that you've seen a big change in Liverpool though, with Slot and Klopp. I think that Slot has them a lot more defensively compact, and also like they keep the ball better.
Yes.
Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But they still have that Klopp gene that they can counter on you and kill you.
Yes.
You know the one. So
Yes.
I think from a organization standpoint, Slot's probably changed the way that they play and the way that they build up.
Yeah, so that's what I'm speaking. I think with the Riola thing, I think if he came in and you were playing beautiful football, it's expansive, you're doing a job, a manager could come in like a Slot and say, cool, I love what you guys are doing, but here, we're going to be compact. We're going to do this. We're going to keep it. Where I feel like Palace's attacking idea, I don't know, man. I just feel like I don't know its attacking idea. Clearly.
Yeah, me neither. I think that he just lets the players play and the players do it. You know the
Yeah, because I know that
got the players though.
Huh?
But we've got the players though. That's the one
this
thing.
Is what I was thinking. Yeah, that's where I'm stuck.
I'm actually a fan of letting Cunha and Mbumo and Xerxes and them and just work it out, bro. Like, honestly. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm actually a fan of that. I'm actually a fan of setting up the team and then letting Kobe play, letting these guys just work it out and do their little individual stuff, bro. Just make sure that we're harder to play against, bro. I'm not a massive fan of coaching too much when it comes to attacking football, because I need my attackers to show personality, show creativity, bro. I don't want to coach the creativity out of my attackers, bro. Like, when you look at Pep, like, he coaches the creativity out of his attackers, bro. You know what I mean? And he had Grealish looking like a fucking pub man, bro. Like, just looking like a real pub man Sunday league baller. That's what he did.
Yeah. I think it's difficult, man. I feel like obviously football really only has two phases, with or without the ball, like on reset. On reset, all of this other stuff is a hype. There's just two phases to the game. When you've got it, when you don't. And I feel like if you're a manager who concentrates on when we don't have it, this is all I want from you lot. No matter what happens, when we don't have the ball, I need this because this is what's going to safeguard us from conceding and losing games. But when you have the ball, there's a level of freedom. Go and win the game. You lot of footballers, you know what to do. We've been practicing certain plays and but at the end of it, when we have the ball and we have the possession, you know the idea of the team of how we want to play. And I think Alex Ferguson was a lot like that. Out of possession, he was very strict in how he wanted it to move. And then in possession, it was like, come on, guys, you're footballers.
I think that's how you get. I think that's how you get the best out of. This is how you get the best out of players, bro. Because even this Maresca Palmer thing is spot on, bro. Cole Palmer under Pochettino, man, we're talking about, right, Cole Palmer's ridiculous. And now man are saying, oh, right, is Cole Palmer overrated? That's the conversation now. Do you know what I mean? And all that's changed is the manager. So that tells you everything, bro. The same thing happened with Grealish at City. Savio's at City now is happening. I just want a manager to set up my players to play, yeah, and then just let them play, innit? Like, I kind of do want that because at the beginning, I did want the De Zerbi stuff and all these things. But the more I look at it, and the Amorim, the more these managers are trying to control every facet of the game, bro. It's jarring, bro. A man's really got Ahmad playing wing back, you know?
Yeah,
he was our best attacking player at one point.
Yeah, it's madness. And this is what I'm trying to say. It makes us forget. It's madness. And I feel like just mentioning that Poch thing, I just remember that we actually had a choice between Ten Hag and Poch. I remember that. I remember we actually had a choice between the two and we went for Ten Hag. And again, we flopped. We went and got a manager outside of the league that had no experience, because if we had got Poch in, we would be in a better position for it.
Yeah, he was, because Poch is closer to that kind of manager that lets players play than the other.
Yes, we would have been in a better position for it.
But he's fucked up. His reputation's gone down the shitter, bruv. I'm telling you.
He done well though for Chelsea, I think, towards the end. He started
towards the end, he did, but that middle period was bad. But saying that, Maresca had a bad middle period as well, bro, and he recovered. You know the man, because Maresca almost never made top 4 as well, to be honest.
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying. So I think people forget that point there. And I think that from going from Oli to Poch, it would have been great. I think the players would have continued the trajectory of the good things that they've done under Oli with a bit more structure. I think from Oli to Ten Hag, we went mad. And we didn't even know what we were doing. We went mad. I'm telling you.
No, it's 100% right. You're right. When you actually look at the run that Chelsea had last season with Maresca, there were times where a lot of these Chelsea fans were not believing in what he was doing, bro. And then he ends up winning those 2 trophies. But there was a dark time for Chelsea in the middle of that season where it just looked like top 4 weren't on. Do you know what I'm saying? So
remember, they were in the title race first, and then they got peaked. First, they thought they were in the title race, and then after Christmas, everything went left. After that, they didn't know what happened. They had a good start to the season, I think. After the second half of the season wasn't their best. Like you said, they just barely rescued it. And I think that's what's going to happen again with what's going on now. I feel, and this is where we have to be ready to pounce. If we're not ready to pounce, we're finished. And I feel like that's what these moments are going to happen. And this is why David Moyes was able to come in at Everton, get 4 or 5 wins, and man shot up to 13th in the league. Yeah. And this is why, with 10 games left of the season, I kept on thinking, Amorim, get 4 or 5 wins together. We can be in a conversation for top 10 and maybe sneak in somewhere. Like, get these wins together. The brother hasn't won 2 back-to-back league games, and now he's playing.
He hasn't won 2 games in a row since he's been here, and there's people that still think he deserves time. It's crazy, you know.
It's mad. I don't know how it's gonna. And now his opportunity, City. Can he do it? Can he do it?
Fuck. Yeah, that's crazy. 2 games in a row. And imagine when he does win 2 games in a row, we're actually going to be celebrating that. That's the hell that we're in.
Yeah, it's madness.
Yeah.
It's madness.
Yeah, it's nasty, bruv. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I hear about the IRAOLA. Bro, listen, I like IRAOLA's. I like his philosophy. I like the way he sees the game. If I got him or GLASNER, I wouldn't complain. It just has to be one of them 2 for me. Unless they're going to go outside the Prem and get like a proper proven manager, bro. Like you have to stick to these two. And I just feel like when you look at the managers we brought in, Jose was past his best. Ten Hag wasn't prem proven. Oli wasn't prem proven. Amorim's not prem proven. So we ain't done the prem proven thing. We haven't actually done it like since David Moyes.
No, we haven't.
We haven't done it since Moyes, and Moyes was the wrong manager. Do you know what I'm saying?
Wrong
like
manager
he was the wrong manager.
Time. Wrong manager, wrong time, and he's proven that he is a good manager and he understands the Prem.
That's what I mean. He won European trophy with West Ham. He's doing well at Everton again. Do you know what I mean? Moyes is not a bad manager, but he was not the guy to step in after Sir Alex Ferguson. He wasn't.
No. He
wasn't.
needed a bit of guidance, and that was the only thing, is that he didn't have enough guidance of what it takes to run a big club. I think that's what we need to help the Prem proven manager with, who may be Prem proven, but the noise at Old Trafford, and this is the only reason I've been calling for Xavi. But other than that, I'll still go Prem proven if I had a choice. But I just feel like United has a different type of noise, man, and different type of noise the managers have to deal with sometimes, that it's, you don't understand it until you get there. You just don't get it. The noise is mad. Even us as fans, just being United fans is hard work compared to another fan base, bro.
100%. And I would take Nagelsmann or Xavi, but I just think that the route that we're going, even when you look at our signings and stuff like that, I think because Wilcox is in charge as well, bro. He knows the Prem, innit? Like, he's a Prem guy, bro. He's worked at a few Premier League clubs now. This is his third Premier League club that he's been at. Like, he knows the Prem, innit? Get a Prem manager that knows the Prem. And
I would go down that route. I think we haven't gone down it for a long time. I would say go down it, give them a 2-year contract. If they do a job, well done. If not, they need to. And I feel like the bar has to be set. We need to be in the top 4 race every season, and that's just the minimum. You're not going to get rewarded for that. Being in the top 4 doesn't keep you a job. It's just the bare minimum. You know what I mean? And I feel like if a manager comes in, is progressive, he can win us a trophy, gets the top 4. After these 2 years, let him go. Because at the end of the day, we need to win the title. Title is where it's at now. You know what I'm saying?
100%. We need to be back in these conversations, but at the start of the season, we're talking about winning the league.
You know? Yeah, we ain't had our cycle yet. Arsenal's had their Premier League winning cycle, and they didn't win the league. They
had their cycle. Facts.
They've had their cycle. And this is why I always tell Arsenal fans, United will win the league before you, because your cycle's done now. You got to build it up again. And if we build our cycle, I just don't believe United can build their cycle of 5 years of competing at the highest level to win the league and being contenders and not actually take one of them. Our know-how gets us over the line. You know what I'm saying? We just haven't been in it. And I feel like once our cycle comes, I think we'll get one in. If we have a dominant cycle of like 3 to 4 years, I think we get one in. I don't think we allow that cycle to take place where United are second. Arsenal's been second 3-4 years in a row, and they haven't won the league.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It's mad.
And now, man, are talking about our top 3 in a trophy. That like Arsenal fans. What do you mean top 3? You finished second 3 years in a row, and you're talking about potentially finishing third, so you can win a trophy. It's done, innit?
It's done. The cycle's done. That tells you everything you need to know. They regress. They need to build again. New manager, start again. Or if they're lucky, they could get a manager that will come in and do an early slot where he's like, you know what, you guys have actually got a good team. Why aren't you attacking? Why aren't you trying to go and destroy teams at their ground? Because my man's gone defensive. Big time.
Facts. And yo, big up Gabe, man. Would you take Semenyo next summer, Musa, before you wrap?
Semenyo, yeah, I would. Because I feel like we need to replace 1 or 2 men that's already left. Options wise, because I think if we go, okay, cool. If United play 4-3-3 next season, who's coming off the bench? Who's starting? You know what I mean? Who's the alternative? Who would be the left-sided alternative to Cunha? Because even in a 4-3-3,
we don't have any left wingers.
Yeah, who's the left winger?
It's Cunha, bro. Do you know what I mean? And if there's no Cunha, then you're right. You know, like I didn't think about that, you know, but now actually. That makes a lot of sense. Semenyo makes a lot of sense still, brother. I'll be honest, But I don't think, if Man United are at the top level where we need to be, Semenyo is not a starting Man United player, but he can be he can be a off the bench option, but I'm not paying 70 million for that. You know them.
His age as well. His age is just obviously his age has gone where it is. Unless we can go and find something different at a better age. Because what is he, 28, 29 or something like that?
Nah, Semenyo was like 24, I think.
I thought he was older, you know. That's someone showed me the other day and I was surprised.
Nah, it's not Semenyo. You must be thinking of someone else.
Yeah,
I think he's like 24.
At Bournemouth.
Yeah, I think he's 24 or something like that. He's a young GK. I think he was at Chelsea
That's
or some
what I
shit.
thought, but someone told me he was about 27, 28, and I was like, okay, these times are ticking on. Semenyo.
Yeah, that's mad. Nah, Semenyo's young, 25. So 25. I'd take Semenyo as a squad player, but they were asking for foolish money. He just signed a new deal. I think Semenyo might have priced himself out of a move to a team that doesn't need a starting player because he don't start for us. You know them ones. He's a squad player for us. So I could see him ending up at like a Spurs or something. Spurs need a left winger. They got what's his name? Colomwani on loan, but there's no obligation. It's a dry loan. So I could see him ending up at a player like that. I mean, at a club like that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he ain't no starter for the money. 70 million ain't no sub money. You know what I mean?
It's not sub money. It's not sub money.
So yeah, I don't really know. But Semenyo's decent, bro. Like he's decent. He might have a release clause in the new contract. You never know. But they were asking for 70 million at the time, bro. And we got Mbumo. We got Mbumo for that. So
yeah, it's a lot.
So yeah, I like Semenyo, but not as a starter for Manchester United. I don't like him as a starter. So I would take Semenyo, but I think that midfield has to be the focus now for the next couple windows.
Yeah, the midfield 100%. If you got a winger, like you said, squad, I wouldn't mind it because I still think he's a better option than what Arsenal just did for a squad player in my man from, what's his name, from Chelsea.
Yeah, Madueke. Yeah.
Madueke. He's better than Madueke, so he will definitely be good. If you told us we got two midfielders and Semenyo in, I'll be like, yeah, we're bulked up. You know what I'm saying? We're good to go. I know what we're trying to do here. We're making sure that even if Cunha's not having the best game or we got to put him in another position, we're going to have someone who's just on it. That will just, you know what I'm saying, terrorize the defense, one up. I like them type of man there that can just go and get the goal on their own. They don't even need nobody with them. They're like, give me the ball, let me just go and score this. So I wouldn't mind that. But at the same time, I also would love to see if Man United can go and find a new talent, someone up and coming, you know what I mean? Or even just go and raid Barca and Madrid because they stockpile. Sometimes we forget these men stockpile talent that is ready available for us to just go and take away from them, you know, at the same time. So I don't know, man. I think I'll get more excited if we get a new manager in. Then I know that
bro, a new manager changes my whole outlet, I mean my whole look on this Man United team. Because I actually don't dislike this team. When I look at this squad, I actually think, yo, this squad's calm, you know? Like, I really do. Like, when I look at what everyone else has got, do you know what I'm saying? Like I see people getting onto Harry Maguire and that, and it's like, bro, I'd much rather have Harry Maguire at centre-back, as an option, as a squad option than a lot of these other men have. You know them, man?
Yeah.
Because, bro, like, even 100%. When you look at teams like Spurs and that, last season, they lost their first choice centre-backs. But they might have nothing. Them man are playing fucking right-backs at centre-back and, do you know what I'm saying? That's what them man are doing, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And them man still ended up winning the European trophy. But these man are playing fucking Davis and them man at centre-back, bro. I'd rather have Harry Maguire than Davis playing centre-back.
Yeah, I agree. I think Harry Maguire, against how do you utilize Harry Maguire? How do you set him up so that you can kind of protect him and get the best out of him? Because he's good on the ball. He's good at releasing, spraying. Maguire's got good attributes. He's good at clearing it with headers. There's a lot of things that he does do well that if you can get that out of him and then protect his frailties, you've got someone good to step in. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's one of the benefits as well, playing a back four. You have that partner that can kind of cover and that can help him out on that. Where sometimes now he's getting a bit found out because he's left to be the main centre-back, and if he pushes forward, he can't get back in time. But that's the manager again.
You need to set up to facilitate and allow certain players to do what they do, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So like when people are like, oh yeah, get rid of Harry Maguire, all of this, even the Luke Shaw thing. My main issue with Luke Shaw is his attitude and also the fact that he's on big dough because when he's fit, I'd rather he plays than Lissandro. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I'd rather he plays than
also solid.
Lissandro. And even
Yeah,
Lissandro, if for argument's sake, Lissandro's a squad player and he's a backup, he's still a good backup player. Like,
solid backup.
you know what I'm
Solid.
saying?
Because he allows us to play out from the back very well. You know
That's
what I
it.
mean?
So
And he paves over the crack though of a lot of frailties from managers like Ruben, because then he
100.
also comes with other issues. But yeah, like you said, he's a solid player. Lissandro's a solid player. And
No,
he just needs
what I'm saying.
protecting in other ways, just like Maguire does. He needs it. Whether he needs a Varane next to him to protect him. So you need to
Yeah,
pay that for.
that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm not rating Lissandro like that. I think Lissandro's a decent footballer, but I rate my
Yeah.
defenders on if they can defend or not. Do you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
defensively, he's a liability. He's shaky. But if I look at him like a Victor Lindelof and he's just a squad player that comes in every now and then, no problem. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Absolutely no problem. Like he's a good player to just have to step in for 2-3 games because we got players injured and he just does a deputy job. And
Yeah.
then when the main centre back comes back, he pisses off, bro. Like Euro and Delit is a very solid centre back partnership.
Yeah.
Solid.
Euro and Benet is solid. Either one of Euro and the Lit can cover as well, Lissandro, if they had to. So if one of them was injured and Lissandro had to step in, they would both cover him. So like you said there, he's a
Yeah.
good backup. I wouldn't
Yeah.
be worried. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Yeah, I
So no,
wouldn't
I
be
think it's
worried.
decent. And Aiden Heaven looks really good as well. So
Yeah.
like I'm happy with our defensive acquisitions. You know what I mean? Dorgu, Mazraoui, they're all good players, bro. I'd get rid
Yeah.
of Dallo because we don't need him.
Yeah.
So
He got some money in.
yeah, but bro, like defensively we look all right. Attacking wise, we've got quality over quantity now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We could potentially have one more attacker. But then
Yeah.
again, Ahmad's an attacker and he hasn't been used there. So if you add
Yeah.
Ahmad into the
There
four,
you go.
then
There
you
you
got
go.
5 now.
You got 5. There you go. There you go. We nearly forgot Ahmad. You had Ahmad in there. It changes the whole game.
Yeah,
The
because
whole
then you got
setup is
Ahmad and
changed.
Mbumo, 2 left footers. Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
got Cunha, Xerxes, the 2 right footers that can play
Well,
the multiples, and
yeah.
then you got Sesko, who's the out and out. So straight away,
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
like, just adding Ahmad into the attack looks better.
100%. Totally. Yeah. The manager needs to. Yeah. Let's see. All roads lead to the dugout, man. How long we got
Always.
left for this international break, man? How long we need to get it over, man?
What
Next
is it?
week.
I think we got one more week, innit?
Yeah. So this
Yeah, I
week
think
coming
we got
up.
one more week.
This week coming up, and then after what's our game? Saturday or Sunday? Next week.
I'm not sure,
Well,
you know.
probably a Super Sunday, maybe. It depends. That City game. They're gonna want all eyes on that. That's gonna be on the TV. They're gonna make their money off that one there.
Yeah, if it's City, then it's probably it's Saturday. Ooh.
Oh,
No, they're
lunchtime.
saying Sunday 4:30. Yeah, that would
That's
make
what I'm
more
saying.
sense because City's got
Yeah,
to be a Super Sunday game. It's got to be.
gotta be. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. All eyes. Them games there, everyone's played the Saturday before. They've picked up their points. It's mad. Them games are pressure. And I hate Sunday games. And I'm not gonna lie. I want us to get our points early. I hate it. I want to find out what's going on. We're gonna be sitting there. The whole world is watching.
Yeah.
The ops are waiting, boy. It's a
No, it's
mad
peak.
day.
It's actually peak, man. You know what I'm saying? But we'll be there, people, man. You know what time it is. Make sure
I'm
you
telling you.
subscribe as well to Musa Reacts. The link is
Yeah, make sure, man. With
in the
Sky
title.
people, I'm there. I
You
got
know
a
what I'm
video
saying?
dropping tomorrow on the midfielders for January that we could look at and what we can do now. I think Sekou Kone is still good food, man. I just feel like I don't know if Amrin's gonna get it or not, but we'll see. This Mason Mount. See, when you start hearing these injuries, just know that this brother's about to start sitting out the season. He's
Oh yeah,
injured
you know
already.
that, innit? Yeah, Mason
Yeah,
Mount's
yeah,
about to see his way out of contention. You knew it wasn't gonna
yeah,
last anyway. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah.
Jim and
I'm
these man will
telling
be
you,
looking that this bread's on 250 bag, and he don't play. You know
don't
them
play.
man. So they'll be looking to move Mason Mount on. Bruno, this is his last season for sure, blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
At his age and the money, and
yeah.
also Cass, this is his last season.
Last
So
season.
3
That's three
midfielders, man, need.
midfielders. And Ugarte could bop. He could go as well.
Because he's young,
Ugarte,
I think they might keep
yeah,
him because he's not on a lot of money. But
he's
we
not.
need to
I
sign
think,
3 mids.
yeah, but I think if someone puts in an offer for him and he's not a starter and he wants to play, because I don't think he's going to be a starter. You have to understand, you're young.
He's
Do you
not
want to be at
starting.
the bench? Yeah, do you want to be at the bench at United or do you want to go and play? I think you might
But he
do
was
an
on the
Anthony.
bench at PSG as well, blood. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
He might be happy to just be a side man, bro. He's on money.
Yeah, he's on money. We'll see. Because I was thinking he might do an Anthony and say, you know what, let me go and play in Spain, play my game, and we might get a little change for him. Because we could be letting go 3 or 4 midfielders this summer, which is big. That means we got to go and replace that. That's why I think the club would love to have Kobe there. I know they rate Sekou Kone, and maybe add another 2 solid midfielders. And then it's a game changer. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know. And I know that depending on what manager it is, certain managers, this is what I keep saying, certain managers will come and throw Cunha and Ahmad in the midfield. They will just do it with 2 men behind them.
They'll do a madness. Yeah, there'll be other managers that will do that, bro. There'll be certain managers that would play Ahmad in the 10 or something like that, because he can play there.
Yeah, or Cunha, because he's a ball carrier. They'll do it. And then all of a sudden it looks different now. You know what I'm trying to say? Because now, if Cunha's the supporting act to a number 9, and you've got 2 wingers who are deadly, everything starts to look different.
Yeah, fact.
Yeah, it's different. So
that's
let's
how
see,
it should be, man. You get me?
Let's see.
Yeah, man. Hey, yo, big up the chat, people. You already know what time it is. Man's back at 4 o'clock with Deluded Gooner. You man know what time it is. So make sure you subscribe to Musa. And yeah, man.